Okay, let's unpack this. Welcome, everyone, to a deep dive today. We're focusing squarely on an incredibly precise topic. Portugal to Spain for residency 2025.
Right. And our source material, it's just excerpts, but they're pulled directly from a document with exactly that title.
Exactly that title. So that specificity is really the key, isn't it?
It is. Our mission here is basically to explore what this document focuses on. What's its core message, its significance?
Yeah, what does it tell us about this very specific transition, Portugal to Spain, specifically looking at the year 2025?
We're trying to get into the insights the source itself provides, based on these excerpts.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if you, the listener, are navigating this or even just thinking about this exact move,
Portugal to Spain, residency, around 2025.
then the details hinted at in these excerpts seem tailor-made for you.
It sounds like the source promises to sort of cut through the general noise and get right to the details for that specific situation, for that year.
So what seems clear, just from the title and the idea of excerpts about it?
Well, this specific path, it must have unique things to consider for 2025. It's not just general EU freedom of movement stuff.
Right. The source implies there are maybe procedural steps, documentation details, timing factors
That are highlighted as being particularly relevant now, or rather, for 2025.
Okay, so for instance, the source apparently dives straight into potential changes in the application process itself for that year.
Yes, it seems to flag a particular requirement about the timing. Timing your application relative to when you actually enter Spain.
Okay.
And it notes a stricter interpretation potentially coming into effect in 2025. Something maybe not stressed as much before.
That sounds like a crucial detail. So the document might be emphasizing that, what worked in, say, 2024.
Or what some generic guide might tell you.
Right. That might actually lead to delays or problems specifically in 2025 because of this procedural tweak.
That seems to be the implication. It links this to needing to be more proactive, gathering your documents before you even arrive in Spain.
Okay, proactivity. And it doesn't stop there, does it? There was something about proof of funds.
Yeah, another key point in the excerpts, proof of funds is usually required, sure, But for 2025 applicants coming from Portugal, the source apparently highlights a specific focus on showing the origin of those funds.
The origin. Interesting. Why?
It potentially links it to recent changes, maybe in tax information exchange between Portugal and Spain, becoming more, let's say, impactful in 2025.
Wow. Okay, so the authorities might be looking more closely at the financial side of the move?
That's what it sounds like the source suggests. You might need docs showing your financial history in Portugal, maybe even tax returns.
In a way that wasn't perhaps as strictly enforced before.
For residency applications, I mean.
Exactly, which does raise a question. Does the source get into how you need to prove this for 2025?
Yeah.
The format certification.
It does touch on that. It mentions maybe a specific type of bank statement certification, translation needs, things applicants might easily overlook.
And the value there is really that the source is addressing this level of detail for this time frame. It's not just, have enough money.
It's about proving its legitimate origin according to whatever the 2025 standards are as outlined in this document.
Right. And there was one more thing about residency start dates.
Yes, finally, the excerpts seem to touch on understanding the subtle differences in how residency start dates are handled.
Differences between
Portuguese exit procedures and Spanish entry or registration processes, again, specifically in 2025. It warns that if these don't align, it could potentially impact things, maybe healthcare access, social security continuity, that sort of thing, during the switch.
Okay, so let's bring it back. What does this all mean for you, the listener?
Well, it means if your plan is this very specific path, Portugal to Spain, aiming for residency, targeting 2025.
This source, based on the excerpts, seems to provide very targeted insights.
Yeah.
Insights into potential changes, specific requirements unique to that year.
From application timing.
To that proof of financial origin.
And even those transitional details like start dates.
It really pinpoints a particular set of circumstances, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Moving from Portugal to Spain for residency, all happening around 2025.
Yeah, and it implies there's enough unique information or specific guidance needed for that exact combination to warrant this kind of focused document.
Which leaves us and you with something to think about. A final question, perhaps.
Go on.
What complexities might actually be unique to such a specific geographic and temporal shift in residency rules? Complexities that might require guidance addressing exactly those details.